Shalom. Our Torah portion for this week is Mishpatim. Mishpatim might be translated as statutes, case law, something like that. In last week's Torah portion, Yitro, we read what's called the Ten Commandments. This was a broad outline of what justice should look like in ancient Israelite society. But ideas of justice and the administration of justice are not exactly the same thing. You need to look at the details. You need further instructions, further definition of terms, for example. And that's precisely what we have in Mishpatim, a definition of terms and some rules for the administration of justice. I want to bring your attention to some rules concerning judges and witnesses in ancient Jewish courts. Let's take a look at chapter 23, starting with verse 1 in the book of Exodus. You must not carry false rumors. You shall not join hands with the guilty to act as a malicious witness. You shall neither side with the mighty. And incidentally, this word rabim, that is translated as mighty, can also be translated as the majority. So you shall not join with the mighty or the majority to do wrong. You shall not give perverse testimony in a dispute, so as to pervert it in favor of the mighty. Nor shall you show deference to a poor person in a dispute. When you encounter your enemy's ox or ass wandering, you must take it back. When you see the ass of your enemy lying under its burden and would refrain from raising it, you must nevertheless help raise it. You shall not subvert the rights of your needy in their disputes. Keep far from a false charge. Do not bring death upon those who are innocent and in the right, for I will not acquit the wrongdoer. Do not take bribes, for bribes blind the clear-sighted and upset the pleas of those who are in the right. You shall not oppress the stranger, for you know the feelings of the stranger, having yourselves been strangers in the land of Egypt. There's so much in what I just read. It tells us not to involve ourselves in hearsay evidence, false rumors. You have nothing to do with that. You do not favor the mighty over the poor, those without power. If you are in a situation in which you must make a judgment, you favor neither the powerful and you don't show deference to the poor. Yes, you can have sympathy for the poor, but when it comes to law, you have to decide who is right, regardless of the person with whom your sympathies may lie. And it goes on to say that when you find your enemy's animal lying under a burden, this seems a little out of place here, that you must help that animal even though you don't feel like it. Why is this stuck in the middle of these judicial rules? To tell us that we must overcome our feelings of hostility toward another person when we are in a position where we must judge that person. We might not like that person, but nonetheless, we must do the right thing. We are told, obviously, not to take bribes. Not to take bribes. Anybody who is in a position of judging a case must stay as far away from a conflict of interest as possible. And finally, it says, you shall not oppress the stranger, for you know the feelings of the stranger. You were strangers in the land of Egypt. This tells us that in a Jewish court, that if a Gentile is brought into court, that person is treated with the same sense of justice and fairness as would be extended to a Jewish person. And it says, remember, you were a minority. You were oppressed. Don't treat the foreigner, the person different from you, differently than you would treat a fellow Jew. Jews traditionally have been involved in justice. We have a lot of Jews who serve as lawyers, as judges in this country, and justice is an essential goal of Judaism. Well, I hope that you will read this week's Torah portion and come to your own conclusions. Shabbat Shalom.